Make you feel nice and comfortable. Try to act nice, but your cover's blown. All right, let me stop before I get in trouble. Before they try to get me for playing other people's music on here. Shoot, they should allow us to do that on here. They need to stop. Yeah, excuse my dog in the background. She's an ex-smoker, so she got lung problems now. Come on, the Bambies. Come on. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another round of Preparing for Love. I'm your host, Jay. Come on in. Hello, 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 Nita730. How are you doing today? How's everybody else doing today? Come on in. We want to have a nice open discussion about everything reality TV. It's been a while since we've been here, and so I want to just come back. We just talk about some things that we've been seeing on the TV screens lately, and have a discussion around love on those agendas. So if you're new to this channel, please do me a massive favor, and I'm stealing Coach O's line real quick, but please do me a big favor. Please, 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 please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend that tells a friend that tells a friend that talks too much so they could tell everybody this is where you want to come. That is the latest hot spot on YouTube, so you guys need to be here. We do a whole bunch of different things here. We have real live discussions. We get to know people that we didn't know. We get to understand people's journeys through life. I have a whole new segment that's coming on that is dealing with all of that part on just getting to actually learn people through their experiences as well as learn from them, their experiences. So that's a whole new segment coming up soon. I'm getting all the fine kinks. And other little things that's going with it. So I want to tell you guys more about that, as well as, we discuss behavior and how we perceive things in the world as far as relationships with each other and our loved ones, our potential loved ones. And so, we talk about all of these things under the sun. It's just life in general, Funny thing about the word life, I was just thinking about it earlier and stuff. I was like, life. An F and lie. If you understand what I mean, you understand what I mean. An F in lie. Life, So that's what we got going on. So we just want to dissect the lie that is what we call life, as well as what we believe to be real. So, that's meaning perception is everything. But come in, hit the like button for me, please. I like to ramble on because my brain be all over the place and it just goes with me. So if you don't understand my logic, bear with me. Maybe you will. Okay. Come in, have a good time. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Today, as you can see what the title says, is Preparing for Love Reality TV. So we're just going to be catching back up because I've been away for a while. It is graduation season. I got a niece that is of that age. It is prom season. It's wedding season. So I've been busy these last few weekends. And, I got a special thing next week that I want to do. And I wanted to get a couple of former cast members to come join me with that. We're going to do a special little tribute on Preparing for Love, a special addition to it, should I say, because it is a part of Preparing for Love. It's just not what you guys totally expect. So I want to bring that back around to you guys as well. So we'll be back next week with our guests that we usually have, maybe some new faces, some different faces, but we'll have fun like usual. We get to know people through questions and Q&A type discussions, and just learn something we might not have learned. We have different perspectives on different things. Doesn't mean that anybody is right or wrong in their perspective. It just means that the way we view things can be so broad, and sometimes we just have to get the understanding of a person's viewpoint before we really understand how they move. So that's what I try to get you guys to understand. I'll discuss some other things, but it's neither here or there. A little bit of why I've been gone for so long to clear the air with everybody. I had, just get some mental space. I like my me time. I've gotten real selfish over the years, and me time is needed. Demetrius is very dope. He is very dope. And a dope stylist. I might have to acquire his services in the future. There's a wedding I'm going to at the end of this year, and he might have some leads to some dope things. But as well, like I was saying, I had to take some me time to myself a little bit, and I suggest that you guys do as well. But it was just so many things going on in the world, and it was just I'm a bit of an empath. So some of the things that been happening lately was just getting to me mentally, because I like to put myself in people's shoes sometimes and just imagine what they could be going through. And so these tragedies that we have, and with all these people losing various family members of various ages, it was a little hard on me. And it was hard for me to maintain coming here and being positive and polite, and not really just like wanting to go off on the world behind it. So I had to take a little time away. But we're back. Here we are. So, you guys let me know who y'all want to start off with first. We can knock off anybody. If y'all want to start on last night's episode, put a ring on it, we can start with that. If you want to start with anything else. Also, if you want to come up, I'll do this. I don't want to put in a chat because, randoms be coming through and being all crazy. And I ain't the best with the crazy because I get crazy back. So I'm going to put my email up. And if you guys want to come through and talk about it, if you guys want to have your say about anything, you can hit this email. Have your say about tonight's topics. What we're going to discuss on these shows, what we've been seeing on these shows. If you just want to come and rant your little life away, that's fine too. Please hit this email. I'm going to go ahead and put it up now. And I will send you the link. And we'll do that like that. So you can join. Let's see. Okay, you don't want to do that for me, hey? Wait. And this control us. Now I got the song stuck in my head and I'm about to start singing it to y'all. Okay. There we go. There we go. Whew. All right. But anyways, let's talk about some of these shows. We'll jump into couples retreats. No. Who do I want to talk about first? No, let's talk about couples retreat. We'll talk about couples retreat because there's a couple of couples on there that it kind of sparked my interest a little bit. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about couples retreat real quick because, baby, why is Michael and Rada back on the show? As we can clearly see. We can clearly see why they are back on the show, baby, because they are out of control. So yes, couples retreat. We'll talk about that first. That's what we'll discuss. Yeah, let me see. So it's been a lot going on in these last 3 episodes with them. We already know that. Let's get these easy couples out the way. It's no point of remembering his name because, to be honest with you, they don't need to be together at all. First of all, let me rewind all the way back to the first episode. I believe it was when boy sitting here talk about he had threesomes in the past, but basically saying he don't want to give Jess a threesome when she asked, because the question was asked, would you have a threesome with me? And he like, oh, I've had those in the past. I already did that already. Combine that with the fact that he's saying that he is not affectionate. He don't want to give affection to her. That, sweetheart, you just don't like this girl. Okay. Cause I'm Listen, I done dibbled and dabbled in some affairs in my past or whatever and stuff like that. A threesome is not fun if everybody is not participating. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay. You're either a voyeur, you're just watching, you're riding the sideline, you're riding the pine, you're going to get lunch. You shouldn't even be there if you're not participating. So I don't even understand how you cannot be affectionate and have a threesome. I just don't understand it. Like, I'm not saying that you got to be like this over passionate lover or whatever, but you got to touch, you got to feel, you got to do, you got to work your way around and work your way into some stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out how you could do all this, have such a great time doing that, but you can't give this person who is supposed to be your friend of 5+ years the attention that she requires for the relationship. On top of it, brother, then you want to sit here and act like love language is a thing that for only lovers, that people that are in love with each other. Love language is not even about the other person, it's about you figuring out what your love language is, and that person figure out what their love language is, and that tells you how you can coexist in a relationship. So you're sitting here talking about some, I can't. I can't do this because I'm not in love with her. How many different times do you want to say you're not in love with her? Just tell us now why you even on the show, why you agreed to come. And don't say you did it for her, because you could have just said we're not at this space at home in the privacy of your home, instead of coming on TV and embarrassing folks. You want to keep telling her that you don't love her, so why sit here and try to even pretend like you don't love her, you don't like her, you, let's be honest, you don't like her to even get to the love part. Okay, so I'm not even understanding why this is a discussion at all. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not even really understanding why y'all here at all. You shouldn't be. It's pointless. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, you both are doing yourself a disservice by even trying to stay in this relationship. I feel, I'm not gonna say better because I don't know the brother, but I feel that Jess deserves a person that can give her what she requires, requests, wants, and needs. So I think that they should both just go their separate ways and be with people that give them more of what they want. I know she won't get 100% from nobody of what it is that she is looking for, because that would require her to be 100%. And since that doesn't exist for anybody, I just feel like she can get better, something that is better suited for her than this guy, and just continue to be friends if they can salvage that much of this. For me, it'd be kind of hard to be friends with you at this point, because obviously you weren't being a friend to me in the first place, because you couldn't tell me how you really felt before until you got in front of the company of these people, these strangers. Now you want to blast it all over TV that you have no love for me. Like, no love. So I don't understand what's going on with that couple at all. And then we have Claudia and KJ. Whew, baby. Ouch. I'm gonna walk a fine line with this, because indirectly I know of Claudia. Okay, indirectly, let's put it like that. I dated somebody that was in that friend circle. So I don't know what to say on that. Okay. He's just not that into you. You know how that movie goes? He's just not that into you. That's what that is. He once had passion. I'm not really sure. I would like to see how it got lost, how this attraction has gotten lost, because for him to say he's not attracted to her, he could be a sapiosexual, so that means that he could be attracted mentally, because he does seem to be bothered by the fact that she does put more time into her business and social media and everywhere else. And so maybe that's what he is lacking in the relationship to make him attracted, is the attention. So I think maybe if she starts investing a little bit more time into the relationship, It can be something, but then we have on the backhand of him having children, him being at the age that he is, and it's kind of sounding like for his age, he doesn't want to have any more children. But he also kind of scapegoats it on her and makes it seem like because she is older than him, her age is more of a complication. Now, we do know that women of certain age do have more complications, especially of having an actual healthy baby. But we do have a lot of technology now that can kind of assist and guide us to a better path of having a better a more healthier child. And I don't know her finances, but I don't think sis is like broke, so I think she can invest the money that she needs to make sure she, kind of have a healthy enough baby. Um, but I just don't think he wants to be a parent of a newborn. And some people get at to a certain age and they just don't want to do it anymore. They just like, look, I don't want to be in my 60s going to somebody's graduation or trying to play t-ball with them or doing all these things with them. It is a lot. And then when you get to a certain point of where you raise some kids, you're like, I just want to be on vacation mode. Like, I got these children to this age now where I can travel, I can do some things, I can see some things, I can actually have a decent conversation with them and they understand me. I don't want to be bothered with doing it all over again. So I get where he's coming from. I feel like this is a conversation that they should have had some years ago so they kind of know um, where they stood. But I do understand sometimes in the beginning relationships, people say one thing and they want one thing. And then as time goes by and those things don't happen right away, that they change. So it could have been a conversation that they possibly had before, and now that time has gone by, he's just like, yeah, no, I kind of don't really want any anymore. And she is still in her phase of, I want to be a mom, which is understandable. She doesn't have any kids, and so sometimes you want that to happen. And yes, the clock is ticking for her. So I don't know what's going to become of that relationship, but the fact that he don't have any attraction to her anymore, and could be, like I said, could be the kids, could just be the lack of attention. And then, ooh, just thought about it. If it is the lack of attention, if it is the lack of attention, a kid is going to take that away even more. So that could also be a reason why he don't want to have any kids. Because if I'm already struggling with your attention, with me fighting the world, and you being a new mother, period, like period, this is not just a new mother, but you don't have any, and this will be your first. Oh, imagine how much more attention I got to fight for. So if I'm not totally locked in and we're not in a good place to make a baby, I think it's best that we don't. So I kind of get where he's coming from, like, if I want attention from you, I don't need to put another distraction in between us. So I think that's where the brother probably is on the baby situation. So she got to find some balance quickly in giving him the attention that he needs, but also giving her work and her career the attention that she needs, and potentially a baby. That's a lot. And I know it's a lot on a woman to balance all of these things, but this is what we do. So, and I know he have to be a little bit more compromising, but if he not getting attention, it's gonna be hard to be compromising with a person when it's like, I want you. I don't want to keep sharing you with a whole bunch of things. I don't want to keep sharing you with all these other people, and now I got to share you with a whole child. Because I don't think I can see her balancing the baby and the social media, because you can kind of incorporate the baby into the social media, but the relationship is still going to suffer. So I think that's where he is in that position. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me. This is my words, not his. I have no clue. He better not be stealing my words and be trying to sit here and flip them on her later on. Hopefully y'all done had this discussion on why it is that you don't want to have children and you're not no longer attracted to this lady, okay? Again, it'd be hard for me to stay with you if you ain't got no attraction for me. I will really feel like you need to go find what makes you happy, because Me with no ex, baby, I got a post that say I'll turn into a gremlin real quick if I don't get none. So you don't want that, okay? You don't want me being out here. I get hostile when I ain't had none in a while, okay? I get very hostile, I get very angry, and everybody can get it. And I don't mean like get it, but they can get these real quick, like. So I need something to regulate my mood. That's my de-stressor, okay? So, woo, better her than me. Let's put it like that. Um, I love, I love my boy, Swaggy. Okay. Funny enough, we worked together before in the past. I used to, like I said, I used to do production or whatever behind the scenes. So we were doing a tribute to Pharrell, and he happened to be there, and so I was his host for the night or whatever. And we had a good time. I know him, his cousin, and stuff like that. And this is the time during the time. I think think this is just before him and Iggy came out. So this is in between him and longtime girlfriend. I don't know why her name just escaped me just now, but it's in between their relationship. Don't worry, nothing happened between me and the brother. We just was cool. We cool. Okay, that's all, you know. But I was happy when he got back with her. I think when she came on Basketball Wives for a hot second, I was real happy when he got back with her. I know that it was a mess being with him being with Iggy and all that stuff, and that hurt them a little bit, but I was actually really happy for them. So I am happy to see them still together, still working it out. Um, I love Black love. I love these type of love stories. Not particularly like this, but where people be like high school sweethearts or whatever, and they stay together and all these things. And trust, it's not easy. I've talked to old couples that have been together since high school and been 50 years in the game. They tell me it's work. It's work. It's a lot of work. But I am glad to see them doing the work and being here to put in the work. I think there is fear on his side, a little bit of her getting her stuff together. And it's usually common. It's usually common in a relationship dynamic where he is usually the provider, and everything is working under him. And you kind of see that. I'll take like Chris and Monique for example. You kind of see that in that, because, and not saying that Chris was the sole survivor provider in that relationship or nothing like that, and take away anything from these women. But when most of my life is rooted in moving my family to go wherever your career is, meaning your sport is being played, wherever it's, city picks you up. So now I got to pick up and go and follow you here and follow you there and be there for you. And life as an athlete's wife, girlfriend and stuff can be rough and hard, because you are needed so many different ways. It's not just that you're here in my house taking care of the house, but I also need you mentally. So it's like when we lose, I got to come home and be able to cry on you. I got to be able to, be frustrated and you be okay and soothe me back to it. And, I have hurt days where I'm sad or I'm depressed, and you got to get me off of the ground. You got to put me back in the game. You got to keep my head going. It's a lot on these ladies, but I commend her for standing through, taking care of their children, and now wanting more for herself. And so I just think that right now Nick is at a space where it kind of scares him a bit to have to respect and support that. I don't think it's hard for him to do it. I feel like he's just one of those people that have gotten so used to what the pandemic has brought, them being at home together for a change, them actually just being up under each other. And now that she's not there all the time, I think it's just a little bit of a bother to him. Some men are just like that. Some men just want you up under them all the time. It's not that they don't want you to better yourselves and do good for yourself. They just like being around you, And I think that's where Nick is in the situation. And he uses the excuse of, I can't do something. That's excuse. Okay. I know my boy platform said it was something else. He was being real nice on Nick, but that's a flat out excuse. Because if you can go ahead and make it into the NBA, you can get up and take care of your kids and make sure they on time for school or homeschooled and all these things like that. So that I can't, and it could because I came from a home of hard knocks. That I can't does not rock in our vocabulary. That I can't is BS. Because as long as you breathe in, you can. It, baby, if people invented a way for us to fly, you can get up and take care of your kids, make sure they okay for school and all these things like that. You can. If you can get up and wash your own butt, you can get up and wash your kids, okay? You made them. If you can make them things, you can take care of them. So that I can't, and you might not be able to do it the way she does it, but that's okay. That's the beautiful thing about being an individual is I don't do it the way you do, but I can do it my way. And guess what? You do it your way enough, your babies might be like, oh, I like daddy's way. I prefer daddy's way over mommy's. Or you might not feel like you can balance everything. You don't know how she balances it. Just say, babe, I need a little help. I need a little schedule. I don't need to do it the way you do it, but I do need a little assistance on how it all gets done, because some way you make it look effortless. And that's because she's been doing it for so long. So this is just your time to step in the role of stay-at-home dad, or daddy period, but enjoy this time with your babies. That's what you're failing to understand right now. This is your time to watch their precious moments happen. You missed a lot of those days because you were on the road playing basketball and doing these things and providing for your family. But now that you have the opportunity, you have to look at it through a different perspective and understand this is your chance to see what you miss with the other ones, because you now still have a little bitty one right now that's of that age of still being a sponge and absorbing everything that is happening in the world around them. So while you have that opportunity, live it up, soak it in, and just enjoy being a parent. You might actually find out that you be trying to rush her out the house to get to school. Like, girl, go on to school so me and my kids can do our thing. She might be interrupting y'all thing, y'all time and stuff. It's like, bond with your babies. She don't need to be there all the time. Sometimes you need that time to bond with your child, yourself. That time is needed for you. See, as a mom, we bond with the baby for 9 months before the baby even enters the world. So we got a lot of alone time. And then when you're gone doing your thing, you're working, you're providing, you're doing whatever else that you got going on, we got our alone time. Take your alone time with your baby. Get to learn your kids. Enjoy your babies. You guys' problem to me on the show right now is actually really simple. And I appreciate y'all taking a free vacation away from y'all babies to try to get the love back. I am not mad at it, okay? Because I probably would have did the same. But you guys really have the most simplest, next to Ronnie and Shamari. I think you guys have the simplest problem to fix. And that's just my opinion. So I would just suggest just looking at the situation differently, not as a negative, but as a positive. So when things are not right for you, she can still take care and maintain the lifestyle that you have provided for you guys. If all things go awry, but God forbids they don't, but she got you. Let her have her moment. She stood by you through your moment, so allow her this. You should be, and I hate to say the word allow because it's like you're her parent or something, but just be supportive. Just be supportive for her the way she supported you. Reciprocate. That's the least you can do. Give back to those that gave to you, and being that she's given you so much, this is a drop in the bucket. So F it. You know what I'm saying? How the saying goes, a drop in a bucket. I don't want to be cussing today, but let it be. Ronnie and Shamari, I'm not really sure what's going on with them too. I don't really know what's going on with them too. I'm not sure if it's just, because they've been stuck in this little thing for a while now. I think when we seen them on Real Housewives, it was kind of like stuck in this little paradox of a world that they got going on, and I'm not really sure what it is, because it's been lasting too long, this trying to get the romance back. I think balancing. Listen, twins ain't easy. Okay, I know this much. I ain't got twins, but I know that it's not easy. I got enough twins in my family. My nephews are twins, and each of them got, I think both sets got a twins. I know one of them got two sets of twins. Okay, child, baby, and he taking care of them. Okay, he taking care of his kids. So, whew, twins are a lot. One baby is a lot. So I can only imagine twins. That is a handful. And then they both have their careers that are still going. And, New Edition has been back on the road. They've been doing more things. She's been getting herself back out there. Sometimes it's just a lot in the middle of the two of them. And I think this is just me speculating because we haven't really got into what their issue is. But I just think there's a lot in between her trying to find herself, reinvent herself, him being where he is, but set and established and just wanting his family. It's just a lot going on in between them. As the episodes go, I guess we'll figure out more what's going on with the two. We know that their past has been a bit rocky. They've tried to dabble in an open relationship that went awry. And hey, from experience, having open relationships, having poly relationships, sometimes it's not the easiest. It's not for the faint of heart. And if one party, definitely, like she said, if one party is not into it, it's just never gonna work. Everybody literally has to be on the same accord in those type of relationships, and a lot of times that is just really hard to do. Hell, they're both are in bands that have been broken down, broken up, people split, argue, fight, and all this stuff. Granted, for the most part, New Edition has stayed together with the exception of Bobby Brown and I think Ralph Trevant. Oh well, let me put it. BBD has stayed together. Okay. And it's good to see them come back, but we already see how bands themselves break up. So we ain't even putting the, physicality up in it. We haven't even put the physical up in it. So if they were like a band of mixed people, you know what I'm saying? Basically women and men, and you turn that into a relationship, how we expect that to stay together? Hell, one-on-one relationships barely stay together. So you start adding a whole bunch of other people up in there and their personalities and what they want and they need, and they feel like they ain't getting what they want and they need, and everybody negotiating to give everybody what they want and they need, and nobody getting what they want and they need. Y'all see where I'm going with this, okay? Basically, it's not going to happen for a long time unless everybody literally stays on the same page. That means constant check-ins, constant communication, a whole lot of sacrificing and understanding and compromising. And sometimes the way we are set up so selfishly, that is really hard to do. So we know they had their complications in the past, which led to her, I didn't know this though, staying with somebody else, which was crazy. I was like, oh, child, I didn't know you went to go live with the girl. But yeah. So their thing went to basically a separation at some point, so I think they've been together for a very long time. I think they've been married for 10 years now, but I know they've been together, I feel like 20-something years in total. They've been together for a very long time. I think it's just one of those points where they just, they just kind of grown in different spaces and haven't kind of been talking to each other. I think that's just where that's at. We'll see this week. It's going to explode between them two a little bit. And I think that's because she tends to be off in other people's things instead of worried about her so much. So we'll see what happens with that. Styles P and his wife. If you don't know total the history about them two, they've been together for a very long time as well. But they had lost a daughter within their situation. So theirs is a tad bit more complex because losing a child and sometimes having that burden of blame on yourself for whatever reason, and your partner not totally understand, or part of you could be blaming your partner or whatever the case may be. But that grief takes toll on us differently. We all grieve differently, unfortunately. And sometimes when we do go through these grievances, it affects our partner. So the fact that they're still here and they're trying to work it through, I commend them so highly of it. But I know from their past experience on something else, I don't remember if Love and Hip Hop or something, they were on something, um, that this was a part of the reason why they're now on couples retreat. Um, I think that's still, I know they got through, oh, I think it was marriage. It was marriage boot camp, I believe it was. I know they got through some counseling and they've been through the counseling through the marriage boot camp, and hopefully they went through more counseling afterwards. But sometimes it's like grieving, it takes time. And so I think that's part of the reason why we seeing them back again. And a lot for the benefit of the other couples. Shamari and Ronnie and Styles P and his wife are blessings, because these are people that have been together for a very long time and stand the test of time in today's age. So I think they're beneficial to being on the show, regardless if they have major problems and they're just trying to get the spark and the romance back. A lot of couples go through this. We go through this at different periods of our lives, different stages, depending on what hormones we're having, what health changes we go through, or just spending so much time together that we just get stuck in a routine, and that routine starts to become mundane, and then we get bored, and so we just looking for ways to get that little spice back, that little fire back. And I see that kind of with them. We'll see what if anything new had developed since their time on marriage boot camp had taken place, but I'm not really sure yet. So maybe some other things have taken place why they are on couples retreat, but I am glad that they are there because they do lend a voice of advice on how to make things work with one another. And sometimes dealing with being in a marriage or a relationship for so long, we need a village around us to kind of give us that advice that we can take the bits and pieces that we need and incorporate it into our relationship. Sometimes it's good just to have those couples that have been there and gone the distance to talk to get some feedback off of. Maybe you don't have to take everything that they're saying, but sometimes they might say something that just click, and it's so enlightening to you, it's so helpful that it actually saves your relationship. So sometimes it's actually good to have these type of people in your back pocket, so you can just call upon at any time to say, hey, you know what, I'm going through this. Is this normal? Does this happen? What did you do when it happened? How did it affect you? Now, we might not have the same experience, but sometimes, like I say, learning through other people's experiences is always a good way to learn or avoid mistakes or fix them before they even happen. So I think it's good that they're on this show. Michael and Rada. Let's talk about these two, okay? Michael and Rada, baby. Rada, it might be time to pack your bags and give it up, okay? Because to be honest with you, being in a situation like this, because I was in a situation with somebody that I didn't totally see a future with, but I was in a phase where I was playing around. So I didn't want them to stop being who they were or being or feel like they had to be committed to me. Okay. And this could be my mistake, number one, because it probably should have just left it where it was instead of trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do, but I should have probably never picked it up, but I kind of didn't care, but I also didn't want that person to feel like they were stuck with me. And as time went gone by, I'm not going to lie, I developed feelings for them, but it wasn't a very productive relationship as far as boundaries was concerned. Because my rule, my number one thing was just don't lie to me. You can do whatever you want, just don't lie to me, because I'm not here to police you, police yourself, police your body, whatever, and stuff like that. I really don't care. Don't lie to me. But I chose the wrong person to pursue that type of method with, let's put it like that. Because for them, they just could not get the concept of I can be honest and still do me. Because it was too many times, like I say, one too many times. I say a total of 3 times, but one too many times that I have gave them a chance, just trying to show them like, hey, you do not have to lie to get what you want. And that was probably me calling myself trying to be a teacher to show them that, everybody in this world will not stop you from being you. Just be you. Be honest though. Be honestly you. And so that was my fault. And I see Rada in the same position of just saying, I'm not trying to stop you from being you, but let's set some boundaries on some of these things. But because they didn't start off with the boundaries, it's kind of hard. Now, funny truth. While I was dating this person, I stayed in these apartments. And my neighbor was Michael. Dead ass. But at the time, he was with his longtime girlfriend at the time, which her name is Georgia Rain. I would see Georgia and I would see Michael's son all the time. And it wasn't until we were all moving out. He was moving out of his apartment and I was moving out of mine that I actually seen him. So I would see Georgia and them all the time. I would barely see Michael or whatever. But it was like we were staying right across the hall from each other, literally, hilariously enough. So when he sit there and said to say that he can't be in a monogamous relationship, that is not the total truth. Because, and I'm not going to say he didn't cheat at some point of his relationship with Georgia Rain, but beautiful Black woman, I don't think he was not monogamous at some point in that relationship as well. He definitely was not moving the way he is moving now with all of these women and doing all of that stuff like that. But then again, like I said, I didn't see him until we was getting ready to move out. So he was probably never home. He was probably with all these women all the time. Who knows? But let me stop being a hot mess. But still, like, I have no clue. Like, he could have been stayed at other women's houses the whole time that they were staying at the apartment across the hall from me. I really have no clue. But I do know that for the most part, he was not trying to be away from her at that time. So I don't see him trying to say that he can't have a monogamous relationship. I do understand he don't want one. And just recently, so I don't know where their relationship stands at this point right now, but my friend was at a premiere party and she herself sat there and said he done walked in with a whole bunch of women, and I really don't believe Rada was one of them women. However, I was not there, so I don't know, and my friend don't really know. I don't think she really knows who Rada is, so possibly she could have been there with all these women, but she was like, he definitely walked in with a crowd of women or whatever, and it is what it is. Michael does not want to settle down. I don't know why he gave her the ring. Um, then again, maybe he's trying to start a concubine. But I would like for him, what I would like for Michael is to be honest about that. And that was my point about my story with the ex, because I see her in that same position, is be honest and let her make her choice. If she want to stay with you having multiple women and all these things, and you're being totally honest, like, hey, listen, I want a concubine, I want to marry about 4, 5, 6 chicks, you know what I'm saying? I want to do my thing, because that's really what it sounds like to me. You're not even messing with random chicks, you're messing with the same girls over and over. So you kind of want a concubine. So just be honest with her and let her decide if she want to stay in that mess or not. Stop taking away people's choices by lying or being or withholding information because you're afraid that you're going to lose them. If you lose them, they're not for you. If they don't want to stay, they're not for you. If they don't want to bend to that wheel or whatever, or if they don't want to do that with you, they're not for you. There are people that will gladly choose that lifestyle with you. We know poly relationships is popping up everywhere right now. They got whole damn events for it. Let her go. Stop being selfish and holding on to people that don't want what you want. And brother, do a favor for yourself. Stop holding on to a relationship that doesn't serve you. He does not want to give you what you want. If the honesty is not there, and that's really what you're asking for, is the honesty is not there for him to honestly tell you, hey, look, I want to do what I'm going to do, period. No boundaries, no nothing. I don't want to be tied into anything. I want to be free. If you okay with it, none of us can judge, because that's what you decided to sign up for. But if you're not, just let it go. Sometimes the fun of the lifestyle, the fun of the person, and all of that stuff is just great. Sometimes you guys are just better off friends. You could still have a friendship. Maybe you should just be cuddy buddies from time to time, hook up every so often. Be one of the 12. Because right now you're a baker's dozen. You're the 13th. You don't even have a month. Granted, you feel like you got all year, but you don't really have a month. You're not happy. And that's one thing I did learn after that particular relationship, is when I took my time to myself, is I like my happiness. I like being happy. So if somebody cannot add to my happiness, or at least maintain the happy that I got, meaning that they coming into my life and start taking away from my happy, I'm good. I'm good on it. I don't want that relationship. So I say, for real, like, do yourself a service, really ask the hard questions and say, like, yo, don't even ask, are you ever going to give me what I want? Because the answer is yes. I'm going to tell you now, the answer is yes. If you ever ask that question, are you going to ever be monogamous with me? The answer is yes. The problem is that's a procrastinating question. Meaning he has no time on when he has to be monogamous with you. He can wait all the way up until his dying day and say, okay, this last 5 minutes, I got you. Totally monogamous, just me and you, boo. That's it. You got to have a time cap. You got to have something on there if you really want this, or you got to just say, I'm good. I'm really good. Do yourself that solid, like, make yourself happy. Get your happy back, regain your happy, because what comes with happiness comes confidence, comes self-reassurance, comes self-love, comes boundaries. Because what you want to do is protect that happiness at all costs. So boundaries are automatically start coming up. It's like getting into the club for you. It's a security check you got to go through, bruh, to get here. Ooh, you depressed. Nope, can't get in. Ooh, you negative. Nope, can't get in. Oh, you got drama. Nope, can't get in. Your happiness got to be like the VIP section of the club. And if they can't bring bottles of happiness to you, they don't need to be in your section. To be honest, they don't even need to be in that club. Listen, I have these experiences. Y'all can learn from them if y'all want. I could tell y'all stories. I don't learn from my own experiences. I've had these experiences so I can learn. Part of these, I had these experiences because I thought I could out experience a person's experience I learned from. But they taught me something. If I didn't have that relationship, I would not know how to find happiness without one. And that's the truth. So part of me is not even mad that I went through that experience, because it really taught me in that off time, that time that I spent by myself, that time that I was just like, I'm done. It taught me how to do all those things. It taught me how to set boundaries, because one thing about me is I can be a very, very, very selfless person, to the point I prayed to be selfish. Meaning when I'm in a relationship, I would drop all of what I need to be doing to make sure you're okay. And that could be bad, especially with the wrong person. Especially when you get to dealing with certain people that are on that N-word level. Because they will take advantage of all of that and leave you broken and not think twice. They'll actually walk over those broken pieces and break them some more. So I was glad. I am glad for that relationship, because it definitely taught me how to put my wall up and really, really, really dissect and use my discernment better on who I let in. And when the vibe don't feel right to what it's going, or I start feeling a little inch of yeah, it's not happiness. The mood has changed in my club. You done came in here and tried to shoot the club up. Can't have it. Security, you got to go. Got to go. So, sometimes you got to just take that time for yourself sometimes, and just go ahead and find your happiness. Don't sit here and I could put myself on block. I didn't even know I can do that. Hilarious. Sometimes you just got to let it go. Sometimes that happiness, that pretend happiness, that facade of happiness, that smoke and mirror happiness, that make believe happiness, that in my mind I created this happiness. If it would just work out this way, if you would just do what I say, you got to let that go, because it's not real. It's not real happiness. So I would advise Rada to just make a firm decision on what she feel will make her happy, and that decision might have to come with some time apart from Michael. Period. But yeah, that's those ones. You know what? Let's jump over to, since this happened last night, let's jump over, and I already got their name up here already. Let's jump over to Put a Ring on It real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because, whoo, baby. Before I talk about these two, I'm going to go ahead and let me put this up. Let's put this up. We'll talk about, because I think last night and for the show, this couple was the MVP. of the show. I think Shane Alfonso was definitely the MVP. And I put a muzzle on it. Maybe you a fool for that. Oh, but no, for real though. Uh, Shane Alfonso was the MVP of the show. And that's saying a lot, okay? That is saying a lot, baby, being that we know who her family was, and they definitely was not the MVP of last season. But I really give these two much props and much kudos for being at least what appears to be people that are actually open and working on it and open to learning to better themselves as individuals outside of being a couple, you know. um there is definitely growth. Trust me, it takes time, it takes a lot to unprogram a lot of programming that we have inside of us. But I give these to a lot of credit, because it just wasn't one-sided, as it was both of them. And it felt very genuine, opposed to other people and they stuff that they supposedly learned on the show. Okay. um I really enjoyed the last few episodes watching these two transition. They never seemed far from love in the first place. It was just a little bit of blockade that was going on as far as communication. And, communication is a big breakdown of relationships. And it was good for them to both show self awareness as far and accountability. They showed a lot. And you guys know that's my word of the year is accountability, baby. You got to be accountable for yourself. You know, yes, they was definitely trying. They was trying. And I give them credit for that. They really tried. They didn't just come on the show and try to say the things that we wanted to hear. They were honest. They were even honest to the point that Alfonso decided to come totally clean. And that's a scary thing to do, because you could potentially lose the person that you love. But all due respect, y'all heard me say it, I love a person that can be honest and stand in their truth, because now what you do is give me the decision to decide on what I can do with your truth. And it also puts me in a place to know that moving forward, I can stand by this person's side because I know that they respect me, not just as a lover, but as a friend and as a human, to know that I will have mistakes. I feel like a safe space for this person, and I can be a safe space. I can find this person as a safe space for me, because something about being honest with your partner makes them feel like they can be honest with you when they need to be. And sometimes we need to be a little bit more honest, with our partner. And when Shay took her minute and she took her time, and it's expected. It's expected that I might not stand by your side during your honesty. Not in this moment. I need my little time to process this. It could be a lot. And being that they've been going through some little back and forth, and she already had some insecurities about other females, whatever he shared with her could have been a lot for her. But the love is there. So they figured it out how to get them back to each other. And I like that about that. I like that about Alfonso, that he had to stand in his truth and just take it like a man. You have to take one on it. If you get knocked down by it, you get knocked down by it. You did it. Your consequences might be never seeing her again at all, not seeing her for a while and not having to deal with it. But the thing is, in those moments, I feel like Alfonso was just really, really like, babe, I've been some time without you. I know I said what I did. I got to own it. And let's just start anew. Let's just start all over. Let's just come back together. Let's find where we started off, how we started off. And this time we started better. I've heard relationship stories that gone through that. And I'm not just saying that it was infidelity involved either. It's just, they just had to start all over. get back to what made them come together in the first place. And it's best to have a clean slate when you do it, because it's hard to come back to somebody who's still living a lie. You know, it's hard to come back to somebody who's told you a lie in the past. So it's even harder to come back to somebody who's still living the lie. Unfortunately, some other couples on this show was living a lie still, but we'll see. People, I read some comments, people want to tiptoe around it and stuff because sis is pregnant. Y'all know me. I ain't about to tiptoe around that shit. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. So moving on from my MVPs, these are my OPPs, other people's property, because these two right here. The cape and the scape, okay? The cape and the scapegoat, okay? Because first of all, I do recognize that Charlene is in a space. She is in a space. She's in a space where I just don't want to be emotional. I'm on the stage. I don't want to be emotional. I can't do anything. I can't be negative. I can't be unhappy. I'm carrying a whole nother life that feels everything that I'm feeling. And it's really hard place to put a woman. But I hope that she really assessed the amount of, and I say this word like this because it's not negative towards Charlene why this lady had the venom. I don't even think it was negative to what was said on the show, because to be honest, unless, because this has been pre-recorded, so I know that this was pre-recorded at some time ago. I'm not really sure how long ago, but it wasn't just recorded last week, okay? Unless these people were able to see these episodes and snippets of that, unless this would happen, I do not feel like this girl seen that, nor do I really take that she would have been so mad at those little things. Oh, she's childish or whatever, and these little things, or he's saying she's boring or whatever. I don't think that she would have took that so much to heart. Besides the fact that I believe it was her on that date where she was like, "If I kiss you right now, would you let me?" And he said, "You can try." What the? You can try. You got a whole girlfriend, sir. The answer should be no. Period. You can try. So you're going to put yourself in a compromising position. So I do not deny, nor can I confirm, so this is still alleged, that them DMs don't exist, nor those text messages. I do believe sis spit that venom like that because he was saying some other stuff. And it wasn't directed at Charlie, so to speak. I don't think that venom was really directed at Charlie like that. I think when Charlie interjected and tried to cape for him, in those moments, it started to feel like it was coming at her. But I think sis was generally trying to be like, hey, look, watch your man. On some real stuff, watch your man. And it sucks because sometimes we as women be in these positions where we can sit here and tell another chick, hey, your man is this way. And to be honest, Charlie has reason. It'd be different if Charlie never had reason not to believe Otis. But Charlie has reason because he was already in the DMs. She's seen the DMs. And the fact that she didn't know about the text messages, and the fact how he was talking about this, it was only DM. I don't know what she's talking about. You started off talking about, I don't know what she's talking about. but you already confessed to the DMs. And if you guys listen to how that conversation plays out, him and Charlie be on different pages when they're both trying to answer at the same time. Then he try to hurry up and be on Charlie's page. Then he tried to love bomb her at the end. And it was a lot of we. We don't need to hear no more. We don't need we don't need this. Like, don't speak for Charlie. Because she the only one that's carrying a we. Technically, you're not married yet, so you can't even hit the we button. She the only two right now. So she could speak French all she wants. She could wee this and wee that, but you can't because you couldn't control your little wee. Because that's what's coming across to me is that sis and you the knock some boots because she got a lot of pent up energy for just this was just a date. So either you was mouthpiecing a whole lot and making it seem like it was nothing to Charlie, or y'all done did something in that parking lot or wherever else you met. And Charlie, stop playing. You seen them DMs and you see what he's talking about, but DMs are easy to erase as well. And if she couldn't hold a conversation and all of these wonderful things, why was he in a DM in the first place? If she was born and all of these things like this, why was he in her DMs in the first place? So we talk to boring. We talk to people with no conversations. We try to hold a conversation with people with no conversation. Or maybe she wasn't trying to have that much conversation with him because he has a relationship. Maybe she was trying to be a little bit more respectful for your relationship. But I do understand you got a baby on the way. And right now, you're in a position where you're not prepared to deal with having to face the truth on that matter. Because the truth means that you will have to make a decision and do something about it. Accepting the fact that he was potentially in those DMs means that you will actually have to do something about it. And because you're in a vulnerable place, this was a hard time for her to give you that wake-up call that you might have needed right now. Everybody's on sis. Oh, she shouldn't have said it. She pregnant. She's that. What opportunity would she have to say it? What opportunity would she actually have to save Charlie, or at least to give her a little wake-up nudge? She can hit the snooze button all she wants, but the alarm went off. Watch your man. Now, I'm not going to lie. Pregnancies and having babies can change people, and sometimes it changes them for the better. I don't take away about anybody's blessings that they about to have. You know, babies are wonderful blessings, and kudos to all that can have them that actually want to be a parent. But babies don't always change problems or solve problems in relationships. Actually, sometimes they make them worse. So I do feel like you two need to go and have a lot of issues resolved before that baby comes. And I hope that you guys been putting in some work with some counseling individually and as a couple before the baby is born. Because what you don't want to do, and this again is coming from experience, is be on a different page when it comes to how to raise that child. And you guys been on different pages through this whole season. Hell, y'all was still on different pages on trying to agree on the same page at this reunion. So the baby shower is soon. So that's how I know that this was taped a couple of months ago. Because she's about to have I think a baby shower soon. And I could be wrong. Could just be a gender reveal. But I thought I seen baby shower. So y'all still got a couple more months. I said, like I said, for Shannon Alfonso, things take time. y'all got to speed through this time, because once that baby is born, y'all need to be like this. Y'all need to be solid like this. Co-parenting is not a bad thing, but we just don't need no more babies raised like that. Our community just don't need no more babies like that. And they also don't need to be raised in toxic environments. So I know y'all saying that y'all not together for the baby's sake, but for the baby's sake, I need y'all to actually come together here. Not just here, not down there, but here. Y'all need to be on the same page mentally. Y'all need to have the same focus mentally. Y'all have to have the same concepts on how to productively raise this child in a loving environment. So I do pray that you guys are getting the help that you need and constantly going to some type of therapy to seek that, to make sure that this baby has a very bright future. That's what I'm saying, Mimi. He might have, you know. And no, we don't. You know what? To be all fair, did we see her parents at all? I don't remember seeing her family. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I just don't recall, but I really don't remember seeing her family at all anyway. You know. So I mean, it could be editing. I'm not sure, but fair enough. Though I'm gonna go back to this, Mimi. Um, he might have straightened up since the baby. What I feel like he would have straightened up is talking to outside people. Um, because I do feel like he's not trying to stress her out too much. I do feel like that. But that doesn't stop it permanently. And like I say, if they don't get on the same alignment prior to the baby is being born, it's that easy to revert to old ways. And I don't want to say his old ways is cheating her, because we don't have proof of any of that, but entertaining outside people in some relationships is cheating, okay? But he don't need to be doing that. He don't need to be entertaining nobody outside his family. And those are not even the real issues that I feel really need to be changed. It's the mentality. That petty mentality that they both have, that part needs to change, because that is going to be the thing that is not productive for the baby. If I go tit for tat, now I got a child involved. Now I'm using the child as leverage in the tit for tat thing. That's the part that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we all got our toxic ways of loving people. We got our toxic ways of finding out people love us, and tit for tat. Sometimes that petty against petty. Sometimes that is our way of finding out that people love us. It's not a very great way of finding out people love us or whatever. It's a very toxic way. Very, very toxic way. I know. Very toxic way of finding out people love each other. She seemed like she was at a point where she's ready for the toxic to stop. I don't know if he knows how to stop. That's where my problem comes in. I just don't think he has really taken a full understanding of what was trying to be presented to him, because even the answers he was given at the end of the season with Dr. Nicole, oh, this is our relationship and you don't know, and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't about that. It was about actually really hearing her and really validating her and really understanding. You guys know that term I like to use for that I got from Dr. Ish, love, listening, understanding, and validating. When he came into this thing, he was saying, I say one thing and she hears something else. He was doing that all through the thing with Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole say one thing, he say something else. That part of him, that part of him is going to take the longest to change. And that's what I fear the most. Because the communication is not solid between them two. And when a baby is involved, it only can get worse. And like Nita say, babies don't solve problems. They only make them worse. Now it can change you for the better. It can change you for the better, but not always for a better, being a better person in a relationship. It just changes you. Doesn't make you better in a relationship, doesn't make the relationship better. Children can change you, can make you a little bit more self-aware, can make you a little bit more understanding, make you a little bit more loving, make you a little bit more softer. But it doesn't necessarily change the problems that exist in the relationship. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful. You know, he wanted to start babies right away. We know why she made that statement. She gonna try to act like I don't remember saying that statement. She got pregnancy brain right now, so we're gonna forgive her. We're gonna forgive her. But I thought that's what Mimi, don't get on him about that rectangle shaped diamond. That's what she said. I thought that's what he said. She said she wanted. I thought that's what she said he wanted. And I hear you. At least he's taking the baby into consideration. But you know, when a man wants babies, he take the baby in consideration, but he don't have to take the mother. That's not part of the deal. When I want babies, I don't. What the mother got to do with it? She just a vessel to have it. So I want my baby to be healthy. So I'll leave her alone while she's carrying it. But as soon as that baby pop out, I'm back on my BS. So, and to be honest with this statement too, Mimi, I would like to say he's not stressing her out, but sitting on this platform and lying in our faces. Because you can see it on her face. When they said about them text messages and she don't know about them text messages and he hurried up and said, I don't want to hear anymore. Look at her face. Look at her face. She wanted to hear more. She wanted to see more. She needed to know more. But also a part of her don't want to know anymore. So that's why she sat there and accepted. Because baby, it would have been me like, give me that phone. Let me see your phone real quick. Because I need to see this with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to remember, when I want to check out the relationship or I want to move on or when I'm ready to have to do something and put my foot down, that's when I find out information. When a person is not ready to do anything, ignorant is bliss. They like to live in the dark. They want to be blind. I don't want to face the truth. And right now she's pregnant and she wants this happy family. There's love. That, don't get me wrong, there's love between the two, but when you're in a petty relationship and the person just does not know how to stop, it's hard. Even when you stop, it's hard because it's just like, damn, I stopped. Now I'm still dealing with your BS. And this is also, one last fact before we move on from them. This is also why I say honesty is so important. Because had he been honest, Charlena would have been able to sit up there in full confidence and not break one time. She broke and she gave that look of, wait till we get home. On this stage, I'm going to keep this face right now, but that poker face was falling off of her real quick. And she gave that look of, wait till we get home. It's on. Because he wasn't fully honest. Had she been fully honest, she wouldn't even have to come back that girl the way she was. She'd be like, sis, I read the text. We moved on. It's cool. I seen it. Yes, yep. I seen where he said that to you. Yep. I seen what, baby, I would have been up there repeating the text for her. Seen it all. We talked about it. We moved on. We happy. We good. Yeah, I got an eye on him. You know what I'm saying? Thank you though. I do appreciate you looking out for me. You know. But we've handled this. We done went through our counseling. We went through our therapy. We're in a better place right now. Because sometimes we do stay with our man doing different things. But when they are honest, It is a lot more easier. No, Miss Seeley. No, no, no. It ain't worth it, Miss Seeley. No. She know in her gut. And yes, definitely Lady in the Sun calculated. She knew in her gut. You could see it all over her face. Her poker face broke down. She got real silent because she was talking real reckless to Milan. She was talking real reckless to her for a second, you know what I'm saying? But when she said them text messages and said they met up in the parking lot, sis sat back and got real quiet and that face changed. She was trying to regulate them pregnancy emotions because I knew right there she wanted to go through all of them. Hell, her look hurt me. I felt real bad for her in that moment, but then I also understood when I'm not ready to move, I'm not going to be pushed. She didn't want to be pushed right there, so she had to sit back and just sit in it, you know? So I'm going to pray them the best, you know. They just got to change. That pettiness has got to change. And, you know, baby, and then they both petty. Listen, they both petty. As soon as that baby pop out, I don't know, she could retaliate. Because it's not just like one of them is petty. So she better watch out. Okay. Woo. Some of us got that nice snapback, and she might snap back, back, and get you back. So yeah, you know, prayers to these two. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need a lot of them. Please give them positive prayers, because and I mean prayers for this to get right, because them two is almost toxic as Shorty and Kid, child, and I was trying to forget about them too. I was trying to forget about Shorty and Kid, I really was, because them two. Listen, listen. Disclaimer, because I know somebody gonna come for me and all this stuff like that, because y'all gonna say I'm victim blaming, and I'm not. What I am doing and what I'm about to do and what I'm about to say is strictly for those who have not, sorry, I didn't mean to put that one up, who have not been here just as yet and don't want to find themselves there. What the hell? Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do some other stuff. All kind of stuff popping up on my screen. Um, because I did watch that Afterlife special she had with Crystal XO, and part of it I feel her. A part of it I definitely. Child, I died. Okay, I died. I died. Okay. But let's talk about it. Let's break it all the way down. Let's break it all the way down. Okay. I'm not gonna say that he is not some type of, along the line of some type of, I hate to say this word, but I'm not gonna say he doesn't have some form of abuse, but he is not alone in this. He is definitely not alone in this cycle of abuse. Because the way some of the things that she talked or whatever and stuff, it doesn't totally give me fear of this person, even though he's unpredictable. It gives me, I do want you out of my life. I do want you to go on about your life. But it gives me more fear, not of him, so to speak, but whatever it is that he has over her. Meaning the so called, I don't think she fears for him being physically abusive to her. Now, trust me, I've had some people that I didn't sleep with stalk me. I've had some exes that pass by my house and pop up and all of these things, do these weird things and all this stuff like that, pop up to places that they known I lived at and stuff. Even the one I just told y'all about a little bit earlier, that one would pop up, and I was in a secure, like I said, I lived across the hall from Michael Blackson at the time, so I was in a secure building, and yet this person would be at my door. But just the same, I never once feared that they would actually physically harm me. But they were so vindictive that I couldn't predict what type of method they, or what extreme that they would go to try to get me back. Now, this is one thing about me. If I've done anything in my past, I own it. So if it comes out, I own it. If y'all see nudes about me, I own it. Baby, I like my body any damn way. So y'all enjoy shit. But you know what I'm saying? If you ever see a sex tape about me, I was probably a willing participant when I made it, okay? It's going to be less on me. In my head, it'll be less on me than more on the person that leaked it, okay? I own what I done. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a possible chance they live together, and they live together, and he's probably taking pictures and things without her notice. Let me see my charger. Hold on. Let me plug my battery up. Okay. Without her being aware. And at the same time, okay, so this has been hard for me because I've been trying to put myself in her position, because I'm a pretty solid girl. Y'all know I'm 5'10". I'm skinny, but I'm solid. I work out and I play ball. So, and y'all know, according to the people and social on YouTube and all this stuff that don't like me, I live in my masculinity, I guess, and I'm male identified. So this is probably why I am having a hard time. And I hear you, Mimi. I'm gonna put your comment up in a second. But this is probably why I'm having a hard time being in this space right now, because I do not have and share her physical attributes. You know, she is little, like figuratively little, and I'm trying to put myself in the position, and that's why I'm probably having the hardest time really, really understanding this whole move she made. But even in that position, and not listening to other things, and once again, y'all, before y'all start trying to come for me and say I'm victim blaming, I'm not victim blaming. There was a lot of things that led up to she put herself in a very vulnerable position. I'm not saying that he should have did anything that he did, but she put herself in a vulnerable position for this to happen. And so anybody that is listening out there, this is what I'm explaining to you. Be careful of how you place and position yourself. And it's probably because I went through things early in my life. I have a mentality that I am always careful how I position myself. Like, even when I walk on the street late at night, my keys are in my hand in a certain way that if somebody ever come up on me, I'm going to leave marks on you. And that's just with my keys alone. Like, I, even in my size or whatever, and how my tolerance is, I still put myself in a position to have some advantage of hurting you. I might not be able to overpower you or nothing like that. But one thing my dad used to always tell me is, if somebody ever catch you, so, and I hate to give this information away, but some of y'all need this information. And the only reason I say I hate to give it away is because somebody that is listening, well, let me shut up before they understand what I'm saying. Anyways, let me just tell y'all, okay, if somebody ever grab you, this is what my daddy used to tell me. If somebody ever grab you, do one of two things, if not both. Scratch the shit out of them or bite them. Get DNA. Get DNA and baby, please believe, leave identifying marks all over. You're going to have a tussle with me. I'm going to leave evidence all over the crime scene. They're going to find your ass real quick. Okay? That's just how my dad raised me to be protective. So if I'm living in my masculinity or if I'm male identified, I'm thankful for it, okay? Because my daddy has put me in position to be able to handle a male if ever. Now, that does not stop me from the worst happening. Trust, it doesn't. But at least gives me a little upper hand on that person being caught and stopped for the next person. And with that said is, I do not put myself in compromising positions, nor do I put my child, and finding out that she has a whole child was a lot of news to me, because you put your child in a compromising position. And so that's where I start to have a bigger problem with her than anything. Because if y'all haven't watched that Crystal XO thing, I suggest that y'all go over there, y'all watch that one. I don't watch most of them after, but sometimes a lot. But this one was very interesting because there was a lot of things that she did that led up to this being this way. And I don't want to say I'm victim blaming. Go watch it so you know not to do. Like I say, it's all about perspectives and people's experiences. You learn from people's experiences, and her experience will tell you, women out there, and maybe some of you men out there that go through these crazy experiences, what not to do. So you don't have to bring people on TV just to get out the relationship. You don't have to do all these extremes, because you won't be in the relationship in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go and you meet this man somewhere, not even where you're staying, not even where he's staying, but you guys meet somewhere in the middle. So one, this is a total random stranger, period. Okay? This person tells you that they're going to move to the city that they're meeting you at. This is still not your city, remind you. This is not your city. Now, even if they tell you they move into your city, still applies. They don't move to your city or to that city but for so long. And this is her words. Before you move them in with you and your child. Brother already had a financial crisis when he first got there. You're not qualified to live with me. I don't give a damn how hard I am struggling. Baby, if I got to tell my landlord I pay you the 1st and the 15th of the month, that's what you're going to get, or put me out and I'll go find somewhere else to live. That's just what we're going to do. And trust me, I've been in them hardships with my baby girl, you know what I'm saying? And there was I talked to my landlords. I was always open with my landlords. Hey, this is how my paycheck is set up. This is what is happening. You can see my pay stub if you need to. I'll give you this much. And every landlord that I ever had has been compromising. That I had to do that with, they had been compromising. They want their money. So if you build that rapport with them and say, I'm good for it, and it's not just, I'm good for it, but I'm actually good for it, they will work with you. They want their money. That's why honesty is important. And being accountable and being on you is important, because you can sit here and build a relationship with these people. It's easier than for them to compromise on when they're getting their money. They got other tenants. They're not in a struggle. They're not financially crushed. As long as their other tenants is paying on time and they ain't doing this with everybody else, they'll be okay with you. They understand. A lot of places are really understanding. This is before COVID hit. Okay. So a lot of these places will work with you because it's easier to keep you, especially if you're a good tenant. It's easier to keep you than to lose money, losing you, and wait for somebody new to come in. They don't make money with the place being empty. So, red flag on her part, you moved a stranger into your home with your child. You didn't give him enough time to be vetted out where he was closer to you, because he moved from New Orleans. So you was in a long distance relationship with him for a meantime, because you was under pressure. He's moving to Atlanta. He moved from New Orleans to Atlanta and barely was there long enough before. And this is your words, so don't be mad at me. Before you moved him in with your child, that for me is a big problem. And it's a big problem for me. It might not be for somebody else, because my child is sacred. My child is my prized possession. I am not moving you in a house and I don't know who you is with my child. If I need rent money and I got to do something strange for that change, I would rather go do that than move you in to pay half my daggone bills. Especially if you hit a financial crisis as soon as you move to as soon as you move to the town that you supposedly moved in. Well, you're going to have to financial crisis yourself all the way back to where you came from. And I'm sorry, relationship done. So this is where I start to have this problem, because he was good enough for you to move into your place. Baby, this is let me read it out loud for him in the back. What'd you say, Drowsy? You say a long distance relationship for 5 months is like having a relationship for 2 weeks. You don't know each other at that point. You don't. You know each other's representative for sure. You know what they telling you for sure. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of story time on my life, because y'all know I done had so many crazy experiences because I was ignoring red flags. And I did this foolishness, but this foolishness lasted 2 weeks. And I didn't move. They didn't move into my place, but I took my child and moved into their place. Like I said, it lasted 2 weeks. Foolishness. You got that 2 weeks, like you said, Drowsy. I was out. I was 2 and 2. Okay, peace and 2. Because I thought I was in love and all this. I was long distance relationship, all these things like that. And my dumb ass, like I said, I didn't even take my car down there. So that was mistake number one. So now I'm depending on his car in his house. At least this person had a kid, so it gave me more of an illusion like my child would be a little bit more safer. I done spent time with him. I done spent time with his kid. And it was a little while before I moved in, but it was still along these timelines where it's still too short, especially with my child. But I felt a little bit more safer because he had a kid the same age. And they were both about 7 at the time. So it was like a little bit more safer. But the foolery happened in the first couple of days that I was there. 2 weeks later, I was back home. And trust me, I took a train home. So it took me 3 days to get home. So technically, I was only there for a total of 10 days or some stuff. And luckily for me, a couple of daggone days, his ass ended up in jail. So I was gone before he got out. I left his son with his mama, and I was back home before he got out of jail. Mistake number 2 she made. You put him out. After some time, you put him out. You talked to him and kept him talking to him for the 6 months. You kept talking to him for the 6 months that he was gone or whatever. And he appeared to show changes and got himself established. Baby, go ahead, get yourself established, get you a place, and I'll come visit you. If you are established in Atlanta, And I'm in Columbus. Stay your ass in Atlanta because you're established there. I'm established over here. If I like you, I'll come visit you. I like trips any damn way. She said she liked trips. And how your job is set up, that gave you more time for a relationship. So that gives you more time to travel to see your relationship. Stay established over there. We can continue to work it out. But as you continue to establish yourself to prove to me that you're worthy of me and my child, and I know some people in that man, oh, fear is going to scream, oh, I need to be proved that I'm worthy. After you done messed up like that, yes, you need to prove that you are worthy because you came in dusty. If you can be mad if you want, because if that's the truth, you came in dusty. And I don't really like saying that word, but the dirt was still flying on you when you landed, okay? What'd you say, Mimi? 6 months was enough time to relocate and be MIA? She got out of his league when she got her settlement money. When she didn't need a co-signer. And I say co-signer because she apparently she wanted help with her rent. And the funny thing is, when she puts it the way she put it, she was already living in Columbus. No, that's Ohio, huh? Whatever that county is out there in Georgia. Columbus. Is it a Columbus in Georgia? It sounds about right. I don't forget. But whatever. She was living out there. Geography was not my thing. Don't shoot me, okay? Oh, y'all don't know about the settlement money, huh? So she accused somebody of forcing herself or sexual assault. So she got the settlement. Yeah, okay, Columbus, Georgia. So she was already living there prior when they met. She was already living there. So that means you're taking care of your house by yourself. And when he got there, apparently you were still taking care of your house by yourself because you had to allocate the money back to you. Because he wasn't paying the bills on time. So you were paying the bills, but then somehow finagling the money back out of him later on. So what was he good for? In the 3 months that happened, I'll give you 3. In the 3 months of reoccurring of that, that's enough to show me that you don't need to be here anymore. Now, I do understand everybody's laws on evicting people or something different, but you don't have to evict me because I've been moved. And that's what you did. You got some people to help you move. And you moved out. But that's when he supposedly followed your son or you guys to work and followed your son back home. Where's those same people that helped you move, though? Because I'm good for making homeboys real quick. And them homeboys be sitting at that house real quick. And if you ever come up at my house or one of my friends' house and they tell you we got that thing in the house and you reply back, you got that thing on you, you best be gone before the police pull up, because if they find that thing on you, you're going to lose that thing and you're going to be behind bars. Play if you want to. That's what I'm saying. You got to, sometimes you got to go a little crazy with crazy. But then again, don't listen to me because, I don't want none of y'all to get hurt because I'm actually a little crazy and a little kamikaze. So my crazy is a lot different crazy. I might be on a S watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all might have to watch me if somebody try me like this, because I've been through some things too early in my life. You're not about to play with me like this. And you're definitely not about to play with my child like this. Like I literally was living on my own, and we didn't have bars or whatever. And it was at a house that, when I was in college, a house that somebody can walk up in my house, like walk up to my door and knock on my door. And I don't know who this man was. And I know at the time, at the town that I was living in for college, that they were having break-ins happen. So there was a bat that stayed at the back of my, at the behind my door at all times. And I do recall this one man knocking on my door. Don't know who this man was. And all I know is when I opened the door, because I was expecting somebody else to come by, when I opened the door, he proceeded to push his way in. Oh, I grabbed that bat so fast. When I say, because my baby was in the bathtub at the time, when I say it was going to be, he was going to have to really get through me to get through this whole house, that bat was going to be swinging. That whole house was about to tear up. I was going to tear that whole house up. It had been me included if I had to. But I know he got his butt up out that house real quick. And right after he left, I called the person who was supposed to be coming, like, hurry up and get over here and bring your thing with you. Because what you're not going to do is ever play with me and mine. I'm not going to give you that. I just won't. And I'm trying to really take into account that she is a little bit littler, but that's also why I feel like she should have way more protection on you. Way more. Okay, so this is a military town. Yeah, I don't understand. I definitely would have had them as friends if I didn't want them. I will post that up there, Drowsy, but I don't want them to know what you got, okay, baby? They don't need to know until they know. But yes, that bat be handy. Them bats be handy, baby. And I play baseball. Oh, I'm going for a home run when I hit you. And it wasn't a wooden, it was that nice alloy. So if I'm trying to dent the bat and have it be the same imprint as your face. Okay? And I'm not saying do violence, but if you cross my threshold uninvited, I know my laws, you're trespassing. Kenneth couldn't play with me like that. Not at all. Not at all. So that, like I say, twice. That's two things or whatever. And so all these things continue to go on for 3 years. And I don't want to say, like, I know everybody that has actually been into this at a grown age, okay? Because I didn't go through my experience at a grown age, okay? I was a child, so I didn't know any better. I didn't, okay? But at our grown age, I hear everybody that has gone through this, they say it takes some time to get through it. It takes a while or whatever. And I get it. If you've never gone through it before, it's a new experience. It is what it is. But what I hear from her the most is that she was afraid her reputation and her character would be ruined. Now, this is the funny thing about it. She got on this show, and who we see being more of the outright abusive type was her. Outside of him doing his financial things, which, bruh, go ahead, take them pictures, because I'm about to go change all my accounts. I'm gonna be at a whole nother bank. They say, you're not about to play with me like this. And I'm gonna get on Kenneth now. Y'all don't worry. I'm gonna get on him too. But you're not about to play with me like this. But outside of that, and that cartwheel at the end, the drinking and all this stuff like that. Like I'm not big on an alcoholic in the first place, because I got biological issues that have issues with that, and it runs down on that side of the family. So I don't play with an alcoholic like that. If you can't control your liquor, you don't need to be around me. But she got on this show and she's so protective of this character that she fears this man, that he's going to ruin her character and all of these things like this. And then she got on this show and showed, to show his ass, she showed hers. So I don't think you are afraid. See, if I got a good character, you can't ruin it. You can say whatever you want. You can try whatever you want. You can't ruin that. You can't call my job, threaten them. I told you already, you can't call my job, threaten them that you about to leak some pictures and all that. Baby, leak them pictures so they can be entertained and enjoy this. Leak them. You're not about to threaten me with the BS. I want you to do the stupidness. Do it. Because when you leak them, I got your IP. I know exactly where it came from, who it came from, and guess what? You're going to get yours. And it's going to be the legal way. Because now I got the proof that I needed to get you all the way up out my hair. Play with me if you want to. I'm sorry. Let me check something real quick because I had just realized I told y'all to email me if y'all wanted to come on up, and I ain't checked my emails not one time. I ain't shit. I try to be, but I ain't. Y'all forgive me. Okay, I just want to make sure that nobody sent me nothing, okay? But I get that, and I got that a little bit. I did get that a little bit, that she was fed up and she was just finally in a place to express how fed up she was. But some of that fed up wasn't coming off as fed up in that regard. Like, it could be editing. I'll give her this. But the fact that you sit here and say you want a woman that's out of your league and all this, and she tried to explain that on Crystal thing of that it was more context to it, and what she really said is he just got through bashing me, but all y'all seen is me telling him he want a woman that's out of his league or whatever. Like I said, that's why I don't totally fear that she feared him as far as her physical safety goes. I think she just feared that he had some stuff that will ruin her reputation, like literally, seriously ruin her reputation, or even something against that case that she had. He knew some truth on that case that she had that can probably ruin her and stuff like that, or ruin that case. So sometimes when people got some hardcore evidence that you don't need getting out because it can really damage you, you go some other ways with some stuff. And that was my thing. You go on the show to break up with him. You went under there. You already knew you was gonna break up with him. So why go through the motions in the beginning of acting like you are jealous or paying attention? Baby, if I'm on the show to break up with you, never once am I looking back at your date and worried about your date and whatever and stuff like that. Or I'm not going to start talking louder. He got some real dirt on you and your character is in jeopardy. And so now you wanted to try to figure out how to get dirt on him by bringing him on the show and try to expose his character. But unfortunately, yours got exposed a little bit more. So that's why I'm saying you're calculated, because you're calculated enough to do this, like you say. But the camera shows people for who they are a lot of times. And it showed you for how you were in this moment too. So it's like, you've made some mistakes. Own your mistakes. You didn't even take accountability how you actually like broke this man down. And I'm not saying he don't deserve it. Trust me, you go through my damn financial records, I'll be all on that stage saying, yep, and I'll do it again if he ever play with me like this again. Like, I'm not playing. My accountability be like, yes, I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and I'm gonna put my damn foot down on it on his neck every single time he try to play with me like this. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, Kenneth. I'm on this stage with security. Don't play with me. Don't come by my house. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't email. Send some. Nothing. he gonna get it through his head. But like, if I want him to know that there's other women out there he can date and all this stuff like that, I'm not about to tell him anybody out his league. Go date them all. I want you gone. If anything, I'm not in your league, baby. I think you can do better than me. Baby, I'm not the one. I am not the one. Maybe you need somebody more, whatever it is that you're looking for, because I'm not her. I be encouraging. I'm not about to tell him these women is out his league, because that makes him feel like, think of a mind of a crazy person. When you tell me that he wants to date women out his league, that tells me in my head I'm crazy, and my crazy brain says, she don't want me with nobody else. She don't think I can pull. Oh, my baby love me. She don't want to see me happy. She don't want to see me with nobody else. I'm crazy. Be calculated. If you're going to play with crazy, you're going to try to outsmart crazy. Sometimes you got to think crazy. You can't tell him. You got to tell him all the time. Baby, there's so many pretty women out here that are better off for you. Go date these girls. Go see what you like. Go see what you like. So I know you think you like me. I know you think you like me. But I really don't think you do. I just think you just haven't had enough experience. Because see, you just moved out here, out to the city, and I was the first thing you landed on. So it's so many bad bitches out here. So many of them. You should go. You young. You ain't got no kids. You young. You need to get out there. You need to live your life. You go experience the world a little bit more, babe. I'll be here. Get a lot of light all day, up and down. I'll be here. Go experience the world a little bit. Get out there, show your world out. You know what I'm saying? You might think about it. I don't want no more kids. I'm at my age. Girl, I would have played up our whole age thing real quick. I'm at my age. I don't want no more kids. I'm about to have a hysterectomy. I think I'm going through menopause. I'm having hot flashes. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to be all moody and stuff. I'm about to be temperamental. I don't know what's happening, what's going on. Baby, I would have played crazy so damn fast. And I would have played into everything to my advantage to get out this daggone relationship. Instead of, I'm really not opposed to her bringing him on TV to break up out the relationship. But what you wanted to do is really show him for who he is, but not you don't have to egg him. The camera's going to pick up on him. We already seen that on the first date. He tried to go on and he just could not focus. We already seen that he don't want to be with nobody else but you. Now I got that you was trying to sit here and make him feel some type of way. Girl, that's baby, if you wanted to break up with him, I would have stayed with Hollywood through the whole damn show. Because he was already threatened by Hollywood. As soon as I realized he was threatened by Hollywood, I would have stayed with Hollywood through the whole damn show. And that's my part. It's like you didn't need to go through the show to humiliate him. And I know other people's gonna say what they want to say about it or whatever, but because sometimes with some crazy people, if you don't out crazy them, or you just out with them by setting yourself up to appear more crazier than them, they just don't get it. And that's why he still feels entitled and still feels all these things to be able, and still saying you'll be back, because you've been doing this pattern. This is not just him being this and you not calling him back. I really do believe you called him back a few times. And you like to sit here and play it up like, oh, I had to just play along to get it there. Baby, family would have been at my house. I'd have moved back in with my parents. I don't give a damn. You're not about to play with me. A little bit of it I do too. I feel a little bit too, but he crazy. He crazy, and I'm gonna get on right now. I'm about to transition to get on him. He is freaking crazy. He needs some daggone help, and he can say what he want. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when people trying to help you really get yourself together, you need to take their advice and really listen, and don't get an attitude and be all in your feelings. You got to grow up. You cannot be a man out here and taking rejection as a way to continue to hurt and abuse people. Whatever hurt that you got on going on in here that makes you feel that that's okay, you need to go fix that. And sadly enough, I know somebody who has recently gone through the daggone divorce, everything they did, they stupidness and stuff, and they gone through their divorce, and still up to this date, it's been 5, 6, 7 years. They ex-wife done moved on. She about to get married to somebody else. She is happy, and this dude still talking about her. Still talking about her almost as if they still together. Still, when he run into anybody he know, he like, I don't want her no more. I don't this or whatever. But that's the only thing you think about. Every time you see somebody you know her, that know her, she come up. Don't be that guy. This man way all up into his 50s, damn near about to be 60-year-old, still over here sweating his past. And that's what you on the road to being, Kenneth, if you don't get that thing together, okay? You're going to be over here 40, 50 years old, still talking about some daggone shorty. You better get your life together. And you get yourself some daggone therapy so you don't sit here and be doing the next female like this and stuff. This is not love. If she don't want to be with you no more, you move the hell on and go find you another one. It is a lot of women out here, okay? But first of all, you don't need to be with nobody. The men done told you don't need to be with nobody. And this is a daggone shame when these men already see that you is not fixed up. Hell, we see you're not fixed up because how the way you came to the damn reunion. Go get your stuff together. Get yourself together. Focus on you. Find love for yourself. Because if you found love for yourself, you wouldn't be over here so butthurt that she has moved up, so to speak, and moved on. Because what was happening is, as she was moving, you weren't. Now that she has moved up, you're still down here, and now you're mad at her for moving on, but you weren't ready to move on. She met you here. 3 years later, you're here. We are people of evolution. If we don't evolve, we die. You're dead right now. At least to her, you are. Okay. And that's not where you want it to be. You want it to stay relevant. That means that you had to continue to grow. What she seen in you was the potential. What she fell in love was with the potential. You never bloomed that potential. And that was the problem. You cannot be mad at her. And that's the problem with you. You're projecting your anger on her by keeping her trapped and threatening her by you're going to expose her and do all these things. No, don't expose her. Don't do all those things. Level up. Get that confidence, level up, and show her what she missed out on. And be well equipped and well suited for them bad, she said you wanted. Use all that she told you on that thing. On that platform, she sat here and told you you want all of these people, you want these people that's out your league. Show them that you could be in their league by leveling up to that league. We play video games to level up. We don't play video games to stay on the same level. We don't play sports to stay in the same arena. We don't say, oh, I'm on the B squad. I have no intentions on being on JV. I like it here at the B Squad. Boy, go play a pickup game. You playing pickup with your life. Pick your life up and get it together. All this damn resentment because she don't want you no more. She's moved on. And yes, the social, she wanted a lawsuit is a big help. I don't know how much help is going to help her. Lawsuit money don't last forever, but it's a start. But unfortunately for him, it was a start for her to move on. And I say it with you. They both got some major issues. Yes, they do. And that's why they ended up in this whole toxic relationship together, because two poisonous chemicals coming together makes nothing but toxic. Two selfish people coming into a relationship with their own selfish needs and gains creates nothing but negativity. She came in with her own agenda and he came in with his. Neither one of them was this. None of them was on the same page with their agenda. And this dude should have been vetted a lot longer, because that, and now, don't get me wrong, some people could hide they crazy well and all this stuff, and then they get all love. They crazy only comes out when they in love. Some people crazy only come out when they in love. So she might not have never seen it if they never got this far down into it. Or, maybe if they was love in two different places, it would have slowly showed in his face. But at least they'd have been in two different places that she wouldn't have to feel so trapped by whatever it is he has on her, because at that point, you don't live with me. So if you got some secret, you don't know all my secrets, you don't know my dirt, you don't know how to get into my passcodes, you don't know how to get into my phone, do none of these other things like this. At this point, you would have to have a camera in my whole daggone house to figure out any of my information, because we don't live in the same thing. Yeah, she got a DUI. I seen it. She got mugshots and everything and stuff. I ain't got one, but I know some friends that do. Hey, people like to party. Like I say, character is not all that there anyway, so I don't know what she's so afraid of. Own you. Be you. If you're not trying to have a facade of who you really are, can't nobody hold nothing over your head. That's what you used to puzzle me about Bad Girls Club. You have us get on the show and start telling all your damn business. Now this one said your business, and now you're mad at that one for saying the business that you just got through telling the whole damn world. What the hell? And that's what it comes off as right now. It's like you got in this relationship, told this man your business. Now he know your business, and now he using your business against you. I'm not telling you no business that I fear can be used against me. And yet definitely don't tell me that you got, dude, I modeled. I got implied and I got full out nudes out there and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna let you know I got them. They out there. If you find them, you come across them, you know it's me. You seen them. If anybody has taken any pictures of me and they show them, that's not on me. That's on you. You're not about to scare me with none of that stuff. Like, I got this tape on you or whatever. I'm grown. I am grown. She's the same age as me. I am grown. If my job decided the day they want to fire me for that because somebody else leaked some pictures of me, and to be honest, actually it might have been a boost. It might have been a career boost, because we know a lot of people that have some leaked stuff come out and it just turned out in their favor when they know how to flip it. Now, you might not want to build your whole career off of that, like some people. But some people have changed. That's happened. That person did what they did. I'm sorry. I'm shocked. I never thought this would come out like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, DeSosa, if you go to Crystal, she explains the bank info. She explained how he got the bank info. It wasn't technically the bank info. Now this was some shady stuff, and this is why I kind of be careful on when I send my daughter information like that, because what he did is go through the text message, and she had sent something. Excuse me, let me grab some water real quick. She sent something to her son that has some information or her account information on it. He went through the phone and supposedly found that information. And that's where he got it from. I'm still not really sure what it was, because you sent your son information to get a plane ticket. I'm not gonna tell y'all my methods on how I send my daughter the information, but I definitely don't keep it in my phone. You would have to probably go through my child's phone to find that information. But I definitely don't keep that in my phone when I send her important information like that. At the same token, if I need to send that information, parts of it, like I say, parts of this is still pieces not adding up. But regardless of the fact, he went to the phone. We know he went to the phone. He done took bank pictures and all this stuff like that. So that he's still wrong as hell on that. And I done been through some phones before, but never once have I thought to sit here and go through their damn banking information. For what? All I'm trying to find out is who the hell you been talking to and what the hell y'all been talking about. What the hell do I need with your bank information? Because it does me nothing. The attempt to steal money, it's an attempt. I don't know. She couldn't do nothing about it because it was just an attempt that it never transpired, that never took place. I don't even know how you know somebody attempts to steal money from you, because unless you got one of them things set up and it should tell you who attempted to do it, and if he attempted to steal my money, and it would show up, my bank is set up, it would show up who is trying to steal this money or whatever. They send me a notification, this amount of money is trying to leave your account or whatever. So you have those things in place now. We're in the era where you have those things in place. And so if I know that you already stole my records, you definitely know I'm about to have that in place. So as soon as you try to steal any money out my daggone account for however way you try to steal it, it's about to pop up. I'm going to find out, and the correction will be done. Because there ain't no way that they're going to sit here and say that, oh, it was an attempt and never actually stole the money, so we can't do nothing about it. Buttons, hush. Come here, Buttons. You want to play? Come here. Bring your mousey. She want to argue tonight. Yeah. This is where I'm at. I do believe there's toxicity on both ends of this. On this relationship, I do believe. Kenneth has his own things he need to sort out and whatnot. You need to stay the hell out of people's banking informations and trying to get money back. First of all, you need to get your own damn money. Then you won't be mad about the money that you're spending with somebody else, because you won't be living with nobody else. You'll be living on your damn own until you're married, or until you can afford to move somebody in with you and you can take care of all the bills. You ain't got to worry about, oh, I gave her this money and she cheating on me and I got to get my money back. You won't even care because you got your stuff together. Go get yourself together. Get you some help up in here, because you need to be able to listen to receive things that people are saying, not to sit here and say that what she's saying on you is totally true. I can't say it, but you according to TV, you're a little off. You're a little off. You're not all the way there. But as an older woman, and I say that meaning older than him, and trust me, when I wasn't all the way together and didn't have all my stuff together, I dated some younger people, but I sure enough was not letting them move in with me, and I wasn't moving in with them. Damn sure wasn't letting them around my child. Yeah. I barely wanted them around my sisters. But I hope you do. But you both get the help that y'all need. Kenneth, leave her the hell alone. She don't want you. Want yourself. Love yourself. Go on about your business. Talking directly to you, boo. Take the damn YouTube page down and take all off of it. Okay, you can keep the YouTube page and it just be Kenneth, no shorty. That's the new name, Kenneth, no shorty. Okay, make you a new page. Be just you. Get yourself together. Take her off of your page. Y'all not together. Do not be that man that I described, still talking 7 to 8 years later, talking about you still in love with this person that you done did wrong and all this stuff like that. Move the hell on. Get yourself together. Because I'm gonna tell you now, if I show you pictures of that person while they were still together with that woman, and took pictures of them now, that stress, that negative energy, that dark cloud they got of them is tearing on it. They wearing on his. It's real bad. The health is going down, and he's looking his age right about now. You're young. You don't want to start looking old already. Okay, so go focus on your daggone self, just like she focusing on her. She done moved up. She out of your league now. Okay, leave her alone. Leave her alone. She in somebody else's league now. We don't know who league she in, but she in somebody else's league. Let her go be over there and be somebody else's torment and torture and hell and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to let these blessings be. Sometimes people leaving your life and leaving you the hell alone is a blessing for you. The way they might do it sometimes a little effed up. Might not be the way we want it. The whole thing might not have ended the way we want it, but sometimes they are a blessing. Let her go so you can receive your full blessings. It's all about perspective. Sometimes you just got to let it go. She might not be that one for you. This might be the universe telling you how she is not the one for you. Just like that young lady sat next to you and breathed life into you, that's what you want. You want a woman that breathes life into you to make you a better man. So just go. Let it go. Exactly. It is all about the choices and accountability, and neither one of them make good ones or have accountability. He don't want to admit the bullshit that he already admitted to, and she don't want to admit the mistakes that she made. Why they here in the first place? Just let her go. That's all I'm gonna say. Just let her go. Move on. It's a minor. Sometimes, listen. If I hate to calculate as much money I have lost in relationships, because I can swear I'd be a millionaire right now between trips, clothing, all kind of stuff. Just hell, just supporting them. Sometimes just trying to be that girl supporting you. All the time that I lost in relationships, what I trade that all in for is the lesson I learned in them. Sometimes we learn these lessons and we have to go through a hard way because we ignored the easy way. We didn't want to learn the lesson when we had the easy way. We had the easy class, we had the little remedial class. We didn't want it that way. So we up in the special class, we up in hard curriculum. Now we gotta learn the hard way. Take your lesson and move the hell on. But learn your lesson. It's a lesson in both of you. I was actually, in this where I give credit. I was actually glad to hear her admit to learning some lesson at the end of that Crystal XO. That's what I was looking for when she sat there and said she would not let a man move in with her anymore like this. I was glad that she learned that lesson because that's the biggest lesson of this whole thing. Don't let somebody you barely know with your child. Okay, don't let them move in with your child in the house. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. Just take your time. Baby, it been times I just left everything. You can keep it. You can burn it. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. I got to go. Your peace is important. Your safety is important. Your mentality is important. Your mental is important. And just learn the lesson. Experience is a great teacher. I'm just gonna keep saying that. That's why I love doing what I do and giving you guys my experience. And I love talking and hearing other people's experiences because experience is a great teacher. If you just open enough to learn your lesson. God gives us the right ways to do stuff, and when we don't want to listen to God, we have hard and tough lessons. Thank you. Thank God for deliverance. Because one thing about him is, if you really, really, really ready to learn that lesson, he'll never forsake you. He'll never let you down, and he'll make sure you always have your way out. Like I said, when I did this, that 2 and 2, that 2 and 2 situation that I had, that was almost like Shorty's. When I said I was done, and when I say God's blessings work when you are ready, I didn't have no job. I was on my last little bit of money. And I was just at a space like, damn, I got to get a job. I got to work. I got to do something so I can get out this situation. And when they took that man the day because he had warrants. He had warrants in his car or whatever. And they took that man that day because we had got pulled over by the police and he had warrants in a couple of different counties. And this was in Texas. And so the way Texas is set up, you got to go do your time in these counties. So he had warrants for his car, like in a couple of different counties. And when I sat in the back of that police car because I had to wait for his mother to come pick me up. Because, like I said, I didn't have my car and I couldn't drive his car because he had warrants on the car. So the car was basically being towed or whatever. And at this point, I wasn't about to pay for it to be out. Like, I didn't put it into this position, so I'm not definitely about to pay for it to get out of this position or whatever. So sitting in the back of the police car waiting for his mom to come get me. And a man of no color too. Man came up. He was like, no disrespect, told the police officer real polite, hey, I just want to give her something, you know what I'm saying? And so the police officer was like, I'm not going to jail. So me and the police officer on the same page. I was like, he giving me a bailout card. Like, he must work for them bailout services or whatever and stuff like that. The police officer is like, no, she ain't going to jail. She just here or whatever. He like, no, I just need to give her something. So I'm still thinking that he giving girl that, yes, they will. I still thinking that, he was giving me like a card or something like, you need any help, he needing it, whoever you in the back of the car for need any help, give it here. When I say this man handed me money, when I was just thinking, how am I going to get out of here? He handed me the money, right? So me being me, still trying to be like, nah, okay, I'll make it work or whatever. I got home, got to the place or whatever. Now, mind you, let me give you a little backstory on this. I ignored red flags on this person so bad to the point that the week before I came, he already had another chick at the house that I kind of knew was there, but he was, he was in photography. So I'm assuming that it's all PG. And he just being a friend to this person and he helping her out or whatever. So I was like, let her be there when I get there and we'll have a discussion on everything or whatever. But for whatever odd reason, this person couldn't stay. But I ignored these red flags. So when I get down there and this all transpires and this happening and I'm sitting there and I'm Now one, they left me with the phone. So like I said, I went to the phone. I ain't never thought to go through no bank records still. Ain't thought about that. But I'm like, something ain't right. From the time I got here, it's been late nights working, and I know how photography works. I'm a model, so ain't no way you doing headshots for 4, 5, 6 hours. That's just headshots is 45 at the max, and that's including different wardrobe changes. So I'm just like, ain't no way. My gut is telling me, check the phone, check the phone, check the phone. Check the phone, seen a bunch of stuff I didn't want. I said, okay, you know what? I was kind of like Charlene at the time. I just was not prepared to deal with it because the truth is, I would have had to accept that I made a mistake. I didn't listen to my gut, and I didn't listen to those around me that was telling me this is not the best move for you. And my ego and my pride was telling me, don't accept what you're seeing. But the girl that was there the weekend before had the audacity to call. And she sat there and said, oh, you the one from Cali. Because I was staying in Cali before I moved down there. So she said, oh, you the Cali chick that ain't doing nothing for him while he sit in jail. I said, oh. I said, well, you know what? Because I knew she was a stripper. So I said, you know what you can do? You can go ahead and get on that pole and make him some money so he can get out. So he can be here. You can fly your ass down here so you can be here for him when he get out. But since I'm doing nothing, thank you. Because that's what I'm going to continue to do. See, I needed to hear that from sis. Because that money that man gave me just wasn't enough. But I was glad that money that man gave me because that was what I needed to get the hell on. And like I say, I packed my stuff up, whatever it is that I had at that time, bought the train tickets because it was the easiest way to get me and my child back with all of our stuff. And it was the cheapest way to get us back to the LA with all of our stuff. His mama dropped me off. His mama was like, I'm not mad at you. She got his son, dropped us off, said our byes. To this day, I can actually still call his mama. She'd still be cool with me or whatever. But I was gone. I was gone before he got the hell up out of it. You feel me, Mimi? I was doing something all right. He could sit his ass up there. You so concerned about him. You go make that money to get him out because I'm not. Because if he has the audacity to call you and tell you like I'm not doing anything for him, that you feel bold enough to call his phone and tell me about myself. Oh, you damn right I ain't doing jack shit. What I'm going to do is get the heck up out of here. And he ain't got to worry about it. Because I can only be a fool for so long. Because I was being a fool. Because my true intent is, and I'm not going to even try to play with y'all. I'm not going to even try to make it seem like it. My true intent was to stay until I got a job, and then I was going to move out anyway. But like I said, I made a few mistakes. One, I didn't bring my own car down there. Two, I brought my child down there too soon with me. So I couldn't just move the way I needed to move when I got there. And three, I wasn't totally financially set when I left in the first place. Meaning that I had rent money all ready to go for if any emergency came up. The only backup plan I had is coming back to California because my dad live out here, my grandma live out here. That was the only backup plan I had. So I always knew, and my car was still here. So I always knew I could come back. But see, I can take ownership on that. I took ownership then. I don't get me wrong. I went through a state of depression when I got back because I literally was so mad at myself for putting myself and my child in that position. That was a very dangerous position to put my child in. And I was so mad at myself at the time. But I could sit here and honestly tell y'all that never once did I sat there and blame that man for being him, because he was him before I went there. I chose to ignore all of that. And that was a long distance relationship. He was him. I seen him all the way from through the phone and all this stuff like that, but I just chose to ignore it because I wanted to be in love. I wanted what I thought was love at the time, and I just wanted to be gone. And I let my want get the best of me, and I ignored all of them signs that was telling me don't do it. I ignored my gut and everything told me don't do it. But when I got there, I couldn't ignore my gut no longer than that week. And like I say, the only reason I stayed there much longer is because I was still procrastinating on just getting a job and being there, because he was in jail for a couple of days before I even left. But as soon as that girl called and said what she said, I was like, oh, let me find a way up out this thing real quick. So going back to what you said to Sosa, no accountability. That's what I see on both of their parts, is just no accountability, and that's going to stumble people's growth until the day that they can recognize that they have played a part in how they got here. That's why I say I'm not victim blaming, but you got to understand sometimes we put ourselves in positions to become a victim, and we got to stop doing that. And we got to teach the next generation how not to do that. We got to take them precautions. Us that are mothers that have the next generation at our hands, we have to educate them enough to say, hey, listen, I know you want to do these things. I know you in love right now. I know you feeling these butterflies and stuff. But understand, I went through something like this. I understand where you at right now. I'm not saying that I don't want you to be happy. I don't want you to be in love. I don't want you to feel like this is not your forever. But have these things aligned up for you so you always have an escape plan. You always have an exit. I don't want my child to ever be in none of these positions that I put myself in. I don't want my sisters to be in this position where I put myself in. So when my sisters go off on dates with random people, I need a picture of the person. I need a license plate. I need Instagram. I need all this stuff like that. Because if you don't come back, best believe we going to the first and the last place I know you was at. I don't play. So like with all y'all ladies out here, it's like don't victim blame, don't victim blame. Sometimes we got to break down these victims and say, hey, how did we get here? So for the next person not to be a victim, these are the steps you need to take so you don't be there. You're going to take all my information, I'm going to have all your information, and it's going to be passed on to somebody else, because if you think you're going to do something to me, you're going to be the first one on they report that they're going to have to check out. They're going to have to investigate. They're going to have you in holding. Now, I'm not saying I'm putting all my trust in the law. So I do come from a raw and rugged family that don't play like that. So that's why we send each other that information. Because where the law won't do their job, they definitely will when we get through. Y'all learned from Kojo when I was on there. I'm the big sister, you know what I'm saying? I got an older brother, but I'm the big sister. I went through a lot of experiences that I didn't ask for. I wasn't old enough to even ask for these experiences. I wasn't even old enough to put myself or get myself out of these experiences. But one thing I did learn from them is my sisters will never, as long as I'm breathing, they will never be in a position where a man is gonna feel like he can do whatever without them calling me and me being right there. My crazy is for a reason. It's a defense mechanism, a protection mechanism, and all this stuff like that. My crazy is literally for a reason. Unfortunately, my biological has been in a position at a grown age where somebody has physically assaulted her. Never do I want that to happen to anybody else I love. And trust, if I could catch that person that did that to her too, as much as we and her done went through and stuff, because I understand her past, I would still do the same for her. And if y'all in my circle, that's how I protect mine. And so this is why I'm saying, like with Shorty, don't sit in the victim mode. Use your thing. If this has really happened to you, use your moment to really help other people see. So that means that you got to take accountability for how you got there so you can guide other people away from that. If you don't never take accountability, they can't never step away from what you're doing. They say, "Oh, I seen what you did. I won't make those mistakes or whatever and stuff like that because clearly this and stuff like she didn't really have this problem." And sometimes this is how we continue to cycle to be in the same thing because we didn't take accountability the first time when we got out of it the first time. Now, I'm not talking about those people that's stuck in the cycle. Like there's people that are literally stuck in the cycle. But when you broke yourself free the first time and you don't look back and say, how did I get here? How did I get lost? You're going to find yourself lost again. And I say this to those people that like to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because I don't know how to be alone. There's some of us that get out of these toxic situations and just say, you know what, I'm good for a minute. Let me be. Those people tend to self-reflect and take their minute to figure out how it got there. But those people that just don't know how to be alone, learn how to be alone because being alone sometimes stop you from being lost in the wrong hands. And sometimes we need to share our stories a little bit more so other people don't have the experience that we have, or we can stop people from going down the path that we've taken to get there and have these unfortunate mistakes happen to us. Sometimes we didn't choose to fall into quicksand. We were just going down a path. We didn't know it was there. But now that we in it and we got ourselves up out of it, we need to make a marker, say, hey, quicksand ahead. Don't come this way. We can't just go on or by the way, oh, well, the next person got to figure out I got out so they can figure it out. Good luck, sis. Don't do that. If you your sister's keeper, now how everybody like to be out here now, we got to have sis back. We got to have females back. Have females back by telling them, hey, that's not what you want to do. That's not the way you want to go. Sometimes I go through experiences so you don't have to. Now, granted, my experience might not be your experience. It might not happen out the same. It actually might work out better for you. But it's a precaution tale so you can know how to maneuver through it. I'm gonna tell my age on this one. It's a scene on Indiana Jones. It's my favorite one, The Last Crusade. I believe that's the name of it, where they going through this labyrinth type area, and they got to make the right step. And the first person just go, I know what I'm doing. They take these steps, arrows, and just come out shooting them, and they fall through the hole or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you got to watch other people's experiences. and sit there and say, okay, you know what? Let me not be so rambunctious. Let me not be so, just quick with it. Let me just take my time and really think things through. They went through something. How do I not go through that same something? And if I need to take these same steps that they take because I ain't got no other choice, how do I prevent being a victim as well? How can I lower my chances? Now, I can't say you could stop it all together. I'm not going to say it. We ain't living in a perfect world. But how can I lower my chances of that happening to me? I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to go on this whole rant like that. But, like sometimes when I'm like seriously on my protective mode or whatnot, let me see what y'all saying over here for a second. Exactly. And I understand people that have gone through this experience at, like I say, at a more grown age, they will feel a little bit different. To them, it'll sound like victim blaming because they still want to live in that. And when you haven't taken accountability for how you got into that position, it's always going to come off as victim blaming. I mean, even as a child, I still go back. I still go back to how did I get myself to be in that position I was in as a child? I think there were some steps. I can't guarantee because that person that was around was a all right predator, so I can't guarantee it wouldn't have happened. But there was parts of it that I probably could have been not so naive, but I was a kid. Like I say, I was a kid. I was still innocent. I didn't know. So it's a little bit different when we get there. But as we get older, you start to have these intuitions. You start to feel your gut. And when your gut is really telling you something, when your gut not sitting well with something, sometimes that's God's way of saying, hey, no, this ain't for you. It's not what you want to do. Sometimes you got to sit back and listen to it. You got to take them precautions like, hey, I feel you. Yeah, and we can and to Sosa, I like how you said it's like how I always ask myself, how did I get here? Wrong choices, stupid decisions, it's all on me. When we come down to it, when we, to have to atone for anything, we can't atone for nothing but the decisions that we made in certain things. And even if we weren't the right ones in that decision, I mean, we weren't the violators or we weren't the wrong ones in that decision. We still got to atone for the decisions that we make. And some decisions have consequences. And unfortunately, in the imperfect world that we live in, some consequences are immediate. And I'm not saying that these things should happen to people. That is not what I'm saying. But if I touch a hot stove, I'm going to get burned. If I put myself in compromising positions, I'm leaving myself open to be compromised. Yeah, because we're going on a 3-hour mark at this point, and I kind of still want to watch Love&Marriage DC and stuff. So my mentality is not just protective. My mentality is survivalist. Most of what I do, how I live, how I think, or whatever is survival first. My mind is set up to survive in this world that we live in. And unfortunately, it's not a happy Disneyland fairy tale. So I have to think about my safety and the safety of the others that are around me at all times. Even when I'm drunk, I have to be conscious of the safety that is going on. I am not a social drinker. When I'm out and about, I do not like to drink because I'm probably more protective when I'm intoxicated because I'm already conscious of the fact that I'm intoxicated. And so I get a little bit more angry. I get a little bit more edgier, like a little bit more, hey, watch where you're going. Some people are happy freelance drunks when they're out and about. I can only do that when I'm in the house, or if I'm in a house setting or whatever and stuff like that. I just cannot do it out in public. I can't. I have to maintain the amount of drinks I have in public, because my whole thing is somebody in this circle has to be on watch, because the way the world is designed, unfortunately, is not set up for our safety and our protection. As a woman, as a black woman, hell, barely as a human, it is just not. So when I'm speaking to you guys in this manner, in this male identified so-called manner that some people call it, it's really a survivalist manner. It's really a dog eat dog manner. It's really a protective manner. It's a really, if I can think of it, it can happen manner. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to think the worst on people, but it's there. And so I'd rather be prepared for the worst than to fall into it and then try to figure out how the hell I get out of it. Now, I ain't going to say when it happened, I'm going to be all the way like, let's do this. I'm still human. Panic may still erupt. But then I also learn how to sit there and say, okay, panic has taken place. Let me lower it down so I can think, so I can focus, so I can figure out what to do, so we can get out of this thing safely. I want us all to survive. I want us all to thrive. You know what I'm saying? This is what God intended. Not how the world is today, but He intended for us all to live here and inhabit the earth in peace and safety and all that. Unfortunately, things went awry in the beginning, and here we are now. And now this is how we need to think. Like, seriously, I'm going to tell y'all a funny thing before I go. I watch zombie movies. I love zombie movies, okay? I'm always thinking, if a zombie apocalypse hit today, who gonna survive and who gonna die? Who gonna be a sacrifice and who gonna be on the team, baby? Y'all set up y'all team. Make sure you got some strong people. And all the weak ones, I'm sorry, they have to knock you down. Sorry. But I might need a little running time. So, and I don't mean weak like that. I mean that you just don't think in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? And you might be a hindrance to the whole team. So, sorry. Yeah, I gotta get away. My team still gotta survive, and we do too. No, but no, it's a real stuff though. Be safe out here, you guys. I love you all. You know, us black women, like, really, really, I know we have differences. We have differences of opinions. We have different mindsets or whatnot, but we are really a hot commodity. And unfortunately, as much as they would love for us to go extinct, we can't, because we are the essence of the world. But that's what makes us a hot commodity. And it also makes us endangered, like, puts us in a lot of danger, because you know, a lot of people wants us or hates us for a lot of reasons. So, you know, if we can just stick together, find ways to stick together instead of trying to tear each other down in all these other ways, you know, just help each other thrive and survive. We're not going to always agree. We just not, because our mindsets are different, our perspectives are different. But, you know, we can help each other see each other's perspectives a little bit better. We can thrive and survive. We'll be okay. I want us all to be okay, so we can come back, have these talks, we can play these games, we can get back on it. We can be back preparing for love like we supposed to, and we don't have to have these in-depth conversations of being victims all the time. I'm really tired of us being victims, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we already got people harvesting us, and picking us off for our body parts, our insides, our organs, and all this stuff like that. You got women that's going through this all around the world. We got just being trafficked for other things. We gotta somehow stick together and just really like learn how to survive and not put ourselves in position to be it. Girl, yes, let's get to the Love and Marriage Huntsville. We about to go get off of here, go watch that stuff. Okay, before I go real quick, listen, I know I went on a rant. We didn't get on a whole bunch of other things. I know if y'all disagree or don't agree and you watching this on the playback, you go ahead and leave that down in the comments. We'll talk about it some more. You don't have to agree with nothing I said. You know what I'm saying? This is my mentality. This is my POV. I understand it. It's not for everybody. You can go ahead and leave yours down below. Tell me how much you'd hate me, how much I am male identified. I'm a man by this. I'm standing by the man and all this stuff like that, which I am not, because Kenneth is out of freaking control. Otis is out of freaking control. The only man that I stand for at this point right now is Alfonso, okay? Because he's the only one that's taking accountability and showing some daggone sense. But outside of that, you can leave whatever comments you want to and stuff. Like the video. Love the video, share it with somebody else that might need to hear this message, please. I want us all to be safe out here. I don't want us to have to be the victim all the time telling these stories. I want us to have successful stories, love stories, beautiful relationships with the people that is really supposed to be for us, because we had enough discernment to know the ones that wasn't, okay? And next week we will be back with Preparing for Love. I'm doing a special one, okay? This is for all the moms out there and the dads, anybody that is a parent that is out there. We're going to be talking about preparing for love when we're preparing for our babies and our children and all this stuff. So, that is a different type of love that you prepare for. And sometimes we just not prepared when it happens, but you got to get prepared in 9 months real quick, but, we're going to talk about loving our children next weekend. So you guys be back next Saturday. We're going to do it. And one more thing, being that it's summertime and I know a lot of people want to get out and do these day parties and all this stuff. So I'm contemplating, make sure I don't say constipated, contemplating moving, Preparing to Love, instead of on Saturdays, moving it to Monday, because that's my other day off. So I'm going to possibly after next Saturday start doing them on Mondays, and then we can just come back Saturday if we got a little time. If you guys are here, you guys want a little talk, we can a little chit chat. I give you more of these experience stories that I had or whatever. We'll come back for that, or whatever else. But we'll move most of the show over to Mondays and stuff, so everybody can enjoy their weekends for the summer, since it's hot again and we can be outside again, and everybody want to do these little pool parties and whatnot. But love you all. I'm glad you guys were with me today. Had a great chat. Thank you, ladies, that was chatting back and forth with me on the live. I appreciate you guys so much. And of course, like always, I will see you guys in another chat. You know how we do, because we be all over these YouTube streets, So I'll see you on another chat later. And until then, you guys keep your glasses full and your minds even fuller. Love you all. Have a great weekend and be safe. Bye-bye.